Now, one question is, does it really help? If UPSC has developed a system in which the students or the participants or the candidates are supposed to answer a paper on ethics, does it really help? Like I tell you an example. When I was a student in my school days, we used to have a paper called Moral Education. I was from the Hindi belt of India, Hindi medium school, so Naitik Shiksha was the name of the paper. I think most of you also had something like that in your school curriculum. And in that paper, our teacher used to tell us a lot about morality and ethics. What should we do? What should we not do? A lot of things. Then we used to have some question papers as well, sometimes objective, sometimes subjective, mainly objective papers. And I remember very well that there was a question in my paper on morality. That objective type question, that suppose you are going in a road and on the road you find there is a brick lying on the road, not on the side, but in the midst of the road. What will be your reaction to it? Now there were 3 or 4 reactions given as the options and we were supposed to choose one of those options. One option was, I will not do anything, I'll move on. Second, I will go in the middle of the road, I will pick it up and keep the brick on side of the road or on the footpath, on a point where nobody gets hurt from that. Third option was, that was a ridiculous option, that I will put one more brick along with that. And something was there in the fourth option as well, I'm not able to recall exactly. All the students, including me, they selected the right option. That is, we will pick the brick from the road and put it on the sides of the footpath so that no one is hurt. We gave the right answer. We got the score. But I knew from my experience of myself and of others that in the class of 50-60 students, I doubt more than 1 or 2 would really do that in the real life situations. It means in the papers like ethics, there is a possibility that when you are judging someone, when you are judging someone's morality, someone's ethics standards, he or she has the ability of pretending to be a very moral or righteous person, ethical person, but possibly he or she is not in the real life. So even if we have introduced a paper of ethics, does it really mean we are selecting ethical people, we are selecting moral people? Is it possible that by introduction of an ethics paper, we will be able to find the ethical people out of the candidates of UPSC? Is it really a practical approach? I know, you know, and even the UPSC does know, even the people sitting in the UPSC does know, that it is not absolutely possible to find out moral people from a crowd because we do not have any objective methodology to judge a person's morality unless and until something is revealed about him or her which is objective in nature. But still UPSC introduced this paper with something in their mind, and what was that? First thing is, they started using case study method. In the case study method, I'll tell you what is that in next few minutes. In this paper, out of 250 marks, generally they keep the 50% of the paper for theoretical questions on ethics. Like what are values? How are they linked with ethics? What is ethical dilemma? How does a code of conduct help to reduce ethical dilemmas? These are theoretical questions. If you have studied the syllabus of ethics, you will easily be able to handle these questions. But they have intentionally kept around 50% of the syllabus of the question paper for case study questions. And case studies means they will give you a situation. They will put you in a situation. Many kinds of situations. Like you are an officer, you are an IAS officer maybe, and you are head of your office. If you are in IAS or IPS or any civil services, generally in whatever the office you are sitting, generally you are the head of the office. Not always, but generally you are the head of the office. If you are sitting in the secretariat, then it doesn't apply, but generally when you are in the field, you are normally the head of your office. So you are the head of your office. And your office is going through a very critical period. A lot of pendencies there, a lot of pending files are there. And you need some very good people to sort them out. And you have some very good staff members. Maybe out of the 100 staff members, 7 to 8 are excellent, extraordinary. Then there are some which are weaker in work, some are average in work. Now, there is a complaint filed in your office by a female employee of your staff, and who says, and the complaint says that Mr. X has done something wrong with her, maybe through verbal communications, maybe through other actions. And those actions or those statements do go against the dignity of any female employee of the office. And when you inquire into it, not formally, when you informally inquire into it, you come to know that the similar complaints were there in the minds of many women employees, many female employees, but they were not coming out because of the fear. When you tried to speak to some of them, you invited them to your chamber and you asked them informally that I want to know about the nature of my staff persons. Tell me, is there any person in the staff who does have a loose character as far as the decency in relationship with the female staff members is concerned? Is there someone who directly or indirectly does something that amounts to sexual harassment of the female employees? And you find out that many of the female employees, directly or indirectly, or on the condition of not coming their name in the public, indicated towards that man, Mr. X. And one of the main problems in front of you is that X is the most excellent, extraordinary worker you have. This is only due to his presence that a lot of pendency has been cleared. A lot more pending files will be cleared maybe within few months because of his presence. And he is the one whom you can send in any situation, in any conflicting situation, in any tough circumstance, and he will always solve the problem. He has so much good decision-making power that he can handle everything in your office. Losing him is going to create a lot of burden on you, on your office, as far as the efficiency is concerned. But keeping him will create a lot of ethical stress, social stress, HR level stress in your office, which is also a problem, but which is not causing the efficiency problem right now in front of you, but which may cause the same problem in the future. Now, this is a situation. This is a case study that has been asked by the UPSC 3 to 4 years back. Now, in this question, they will ask you, now this is a situation, you are Mr. ABC, whatever, you are the head of the office. You are a civil servant. Now tell us, what are the core conflicting areas in this question, in this case study, in this case? What are the issues that should be addressed in order to reach a perfect solution? What are the options you have in reaching to a perfect solution, and which option you will choose and which you will not choose, and the grounds on which you will choose or not choose any option. Now you are supposed to write all these things in around 250 words. It is believed by the UPSC and it is believed by a lot of psychologists that in the theoretical questions, it is possible for a person to write some answers which are very good, but probably he or she will not follow them. In case studies also, this is possible, but the probability of this possibility is relatively less. It is more possible to find out a person's real ethical mindset or moral mindset in the case study solutions, in the case study method. So that is why UPSC has decided to go for this. So one belief is that with the help of this paper, they will be able to eliminate at least some people who are going to be very corrupt officers. And this is their belief. And I also believe that in some cases at least they will be succeeding in this. For being a skillful person, I need some training. Sachin Tendulkar could not be a great batsman unless he had thousands of hours of training of cricket playing, of batting. No good driver, no good pilot, no good musician, no good mathematician, no good scientist, no good doctor can be a good or perfect person in that field unless and until he or she does have thousands of hours of training. To some extent, same goes with the ethics. We have an ethical mind, but ethical mind also needs training. And that is why what they call as enlightened conscience. And that is why it is believed that if you want to be a very good person, if you want to be an ethical or a moral person, if you want to raise your ethical moral standards, you need to have some training of your morality, you need to have some training of your ethics. And we are less ethical sometimes because we did not have the perfect understanding of ethics. It gives you so much and so fine knowledge about various things that you can lead a very good and enlightened life after that. And I can guarantee you, you will have this kind of wisdom or this kind of feeling or experience after having read all the syllabus of UPSC, especially I'm talking about ethics,